What is the client? Client is basically my browser, my laptop, or my computer. Okay. Now, what is server? Guys, server is a server where our backend codes deploy, or our MongoDB or our database deployed or present. What is the
Okay,
client? Client is
means
basically my
server
browser, my
is a
laptop, or my
thing,
computer.
or
Okay.
is a, you
Now,
can
what is
refer
server?
it.
As a database or machine where our backend code and database code will be run. Okay, or will be execute. Okay. So with the Node.js, now we are able to run our Node.js code inside the server side. Okay, not within the client side. Also, Node.js provide us facility to run our JavaScript inside the server side or outside the browser. Okay, this functionality is provided by the Node.js. Okay, it's a similar syntax or almost similar, almost or 99% similar code, just like a JavaScript. Okay, it's a similar. It's a, you can refer it as a runtime environment of a JavaScript. Okay, it is Node.js. Okay, now what is Express.js? Okay, Express.js is a framework or is a framework of Node.js. What does mean by framework? Framework provide us a functionality to do the same thing without writing 10 lines of code on much lines of code. Okay, just like for a, if you are working with JavaScript, at that time for the similar functionality you have to write 100 lines of code. But if you are using its library called React.js, at that time you will just write 5 to 10 lines of code to run same program or achieve same functionality. Okay, this is the power of framework or library. Okay, mean within the single language you write a lot of code, but framework or library provide you built-in functionality, built-in code, so that you don't need to write much code. It save your time, it save your logic and all these things. Okay, now same Express.js is a framework of Node.js. Means to create a server in Node.js is very very longer. It takes means around 10 to 20 lines of code when creating server within the Node.js. Okay, but with the Express.js provide us a functionality to run the same code or create a same server within the 3 or 4 lines of code. Okay, means it save our time, it save our code. Okay, this is the Express.js code. Okay, this is called Express.js. So this code is in Express.js. That's why I have import Express.js. Okay, now you are familiar with the MongoDB. MongoDB is a NoSQL database where we store our data in a key and value format, in object format. Okay, so to use the MongoDB, we will use Mongoose package. Okay, these are the packages which are present inside the package.json file. Okay, let's come with the line number third code. Okay, here I have import routes, to do's route for adding a data. What is the route? I'll commit later, but to do is see it. Okay, now here I have also import express.js so that I can define the routes. This is the guys syntax which you have to learn how we can create the routes. First of all, we have to extract the routes from Express.js. Then there is a functionality get, post, put, and all in uh, in Express.js to do same functionality, just like a front end. In a front end, we are using web APIs for storing our data, like a local storage, session storage, and all. But in a backend side, we will not use it. We will use a server or a database where we can store our proper database, and you can go there and check out your data. Okay, so let's come with here. I have import routes. Routes are basically, if you will there just wait. Okay, look, yeah. Guys, to test your APIs, we have a Thunder client or a Postman. Thunder client is a service which provide a functionality to without going to outside the VS Code. We can test our API within the VS Code. Okay, so here this is my API. Why this is my API? Because now, oh, now, uh, okay, now as you can see, my code is running on my local. That's why there is a local host. And why 80 and 80 port number? Because I have defined my port number in line number 8, which port in which port my backend should run. So this is my local backend API. Okay, this is called root local API. Okay, so this is my root local API. Now, if I want to get the any data from database at the time, oh, okay, okay, just wait, guys. MongoDB. Let's go to MongoDB. Now I'm signing with my Google account. I think this account is used. Why this is not working? Let me test it. Okay, now signing completed. Guys, day before yesterday, we create our database in MongoDB. As I said to you, how you can create or connect, create your clusters and create your database with MongoDB. Now, if you want to access this database, there are two methods. By default, a browser IP or your network or your Wi-Fi IP address is added here. Okay, in network access. But if this IP changed, then you have to list that IP here so that you can get the data from this database. Okay, means this database will give the data of this website of this project will give this this data of to only this IP address. Means there are different IP addresses. Your address your IP will be different, my IP is different, and all these things. Okay, all IPs are different. Now if I want to access the data from this database, then at that time I have to add the IP in here in a network access tab. Okay, so that this is the base for a security reason, so that no one can access our data. Means guys, this is for a security reason. Let's say you have a data, let's say you have a data. Okay, but if you don't want to share that data with anyone, by mistake you give the URL, by mistake you gives the your MongoDB URL to anyone, and just like I have exposed my MongoDB URL with meeting. Okay, and what you did, you take a screenshot and you are using this URL, okay, with you. Now what will happen if there will no security? It will give my data to you, and you can delete, get, and modify my data. But there is a functionality in network access so that you can't update my data, okay, without my permission. Okay, so this is called network access. Okay, so to get the data I have to add the IP addresses here. But there is a also functionality that if you want to allow this database to update or modify the data, then you can give it allow access from anywhere. Okay, now it will become invalid within after 1 week. Okay, let's confirm it, and it is in pending mode. Just wait. Okay, now my IP is added here. Now, as you can see, connected successful with MongoDB. Okay. Now my database is successfully connected with my server. Okay. There are guys two different things. Please make sure to don't confuse with server and database. Okay. Server is your code or your backend code which is live or which is present in your backend side, or means the logic which connect with or interact with your database. It's called backend. And yes, Srikant. Yes. How do we commit it to the MongoDB from front end, like connecting a string? Okay, guys, we don't connect our MongoDB with front end. Just listen, guys. Okay, listen me. What we do, the guys, don't confuse with two different things, because database is a different thing and server is a different thing. Okay, backend, you can call my backend as a server, and you can call MongoDB as a database is a is a container where you store the data. Okay, you are storing a data in a container, is called database. But now if you want to get the data, okay, if you want to get the data, then you means, let's say you are a front end. Okay, you are a front end. Okay, now if you want to get the data, then you can't go to that container and you can't get it. You need a middleman or a server which is called backend to interact with that container. Means my server will connect with container, and that container will give the data only to that server, and then server will give you a data. Okay, this is the basic flow how data come and out. Okay, means you are front end, you want to data, then you will not interact with the database directly, database or container. Okay, what you will do, you will create a server or a backend or backend code, so that that code, that server, that backend can connect with database or that container, so that container will give the data to that server and server will give the data to you. Okay, understood guys, how we interact with the database and server? Okay, okay, great. Yeah, so this is my server, sorry, this is my database. Okay, and this is my server. My server will connect with my database. This database will give my data to this server, and this server will give my data to front end. Okay, this is the flow how the things work. Okay, in a backend. Let's come on, where we did. And okay, yeah, we were in the Thunder client, right? Yeah. So now, guys, if you want to test your front end like UI and all, what do? You go there and you inspect the things and check the UI or testing and open your console, so that you can check the any error comes. If any error comes, then it will come in the console. Okay. Similarly, you write a code in VS Code and then you check in the browser side. Okay, now it is for front end. But what's about the backend? How we can test backend, where backend is working properly or not? How do we test it? Okay, for that we have Thunder client or a Postman, which is used to test our backend or a database that it is responding correctly or not. Okay, now I have opened my Thunder client here and click on new request. So my local URL is this. It is running on 880 and it's a local host. So this is my base URL of local host. Okay. And as you can see, I have import routes. Okay. Let's come for routes. Why routes use? Okay. Means, as you can see, this is the basic syntax for route. Here I have import something, ignore it for now. Okay, I have import routes so that I can define routes. Now if I want to get the data, Okay, if I want to get the data, then this is uh how it will give me. I have import all the routes, means I have defined all the routes here. Ignore it for now, and all the routes are this file in this variable, and all the routes are stored in this app, means in this server. Okay, now if user want to interact with my backend, then what he will do, he will call, they will call this URL, okay, this root API, and then they have to go to routes, okay, inside the routes, which is this. And now if they want to hit any API, okay, then what they have to do, they have to get or post. There are two methods, get or post. Okay, now if I want to get the data, then I have to just add slash here, slash, and I can get the data. Okay, as you can see now, my database has no data, so it is coming as an empty array. Okay, it is coming empty array. But if I want to save data, or I want to store the data in database, at that time I'll use slash save. Why slash save? Because this is my path, or this is my root. Okay, now my API is there, my API is this. Okay, and I can store my data in database with this. Okay, now how can I store it? For this, I have to check text here. Text here. It is needed to send the text. Okay, so we have to send the text. Guys, this is my variable name. Why I have write text? Because in a code save to do, which is this, means in this path I have import this file save to do, which is in controller file, means to save the data or to use data in a database. I have write all the logic in save to do function, in this function. And what this function doing, this function is expecting text variable name from body. Okay, so this is my body. As you can see, this is my body, and I have to send the text. Okay, I have sent to text. Now this is text, and we can store it. We can store anything. Right? Okay, guys, make sure to use get. Why yeah, there are a multiple method: get, post, put, delete, fetch. Okay, now I have used post here. Post is basically used, this method is basically used to post or update the data in database. Okay, I have used post, I have to use post, and now I can to do added successfully. My data is added in database successfully. Anish Singh Rawat is added in database successfully. Okay, so this is how post will work. Okay, now I have stored post in database. Okay, and if I want to get it at that time, what I will do is I have this root URL and just slash. Then I'll call this API. Okay, get method, because there is get method, and I'll just hit, and it is coming Anish Singh Rawat, which I stored just before one step. Okay, now if I want to post anything more, like I have used save. Why save? Because there is save. If I'll change saved, then I have to change here as well, Anish Singh Rawat. Now let's change it to full stack developer. Okay, full stack developer, and to do added successfully in our database. Now how can I check that my to-dos are stored in MongoDB? Okay, guys, the text you are storing is not saved in your computer or in your browser. It is saved in cloud, okay, or in MongoDB. As you can see, I have used MongoDB or cloud URL. So my data should come here. Okay, now how can I check it? Okay, means for that I have to go inside the clusters. Okay, and in the browser collection I have to go there. Okay, the data is loading here, and